Should college students carrying guns be allowed to carry guns on campus? That's what some students are pushing for. They say they should have the right to protect themselves in the case of a shooting like we saw at Virginia Tech that left 33 people dead this spring. Andrew Dysart is the president of George Mason University's chapter of Students for Concealed Carry on Campus. Thank you, Andrew, for joining us.
Thank you for having me on again.
So I understand the law in Virginia allows the schools to decide whether people or students on campus should be able to carry guns. But are you worried at all that, you find a situation when you add more guns to the scenario that you are opening the door for more problems, thus more shootings?
Well, we know that the policies at Virginia Tech, which are very similar to George Mason's policies, didn't work. And we're looking at just allowing students being able to protect themselves on campus as they can off campus. Like you said, it's not illegal to carry on campus right now in Virginia. It's just against administrative policy.
But Andrew, what proof do we have that it would have worked in a case like Virginia Tech? I mean, I know that you were a former Marine, or you're in the Marines, and so you know how to handle yourself with a gun in a crisis moment. Just because you have a license to carry does not, make sure or reassure people that you know how to handle it in a moment like we saw in Virginia Tech.
Well, I don't think there's any guarantee to know either way that it could have changed anything at Virginia Tech. But I believe those students, if they had chosen to, they should have been allowed the choice to have a chance at just surviving. And that's, one of the main issues here is whether or not you have that, they should have that option. And another thing is all these students we're talking about normally are older students. You have to be 21 years or older to get a concealed handgun permit in Virginia. They would be the ones that we're looking at. Mostly our graduate students or older working adults returning to school.
Well, I know that some law enforcement officials believe that when you do allow these concealed weapons, especially on a college campus, you're looking at 21-year-olds who may be over drinking, overindulging in a party atmosphere. Not that that's the only thing happening, of course, at colleges, but if you factor some of those things, according to law enforcement officials, you have a time bomb for disaster with guns there.
Right, and another thing to note that most people don't realize is we aren't the first ones to be looking at this. Blue Ridge Community College out in Virginia on 81, they allow their students with concealed handgun permits to carry on campus. Colorado State University a few years ago changed their policy to allow students to carry, and then University of Utah in Utah, they allow their students to carry, and it hasn't been an issue at any of those universities, so we don't feel it'd be an issue here.
All right, Andrew, thanks for talking with me today.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Well,